Good morning to all of you. I just wanted to look and read. Yesterday I read, as you have maybe done yourself, the guidelines that are going to come from moving on in our lives in the state of California. We see that it's going to be by stages. And it's very surprising that we see that the Catholic Church is put on stage 3. It means, and I'll just read in stage 3, higher risk workplaces like movie theaters, sporting events, without live spectators, gym, hair salons, and in-person services like churches and weddings can reopen or take place with adaptations and limits on gathering sizes. So how can we understand that? First of all, it means that it is not going to happen tomorrow. We're not talking about weeks here. We're talking about months. And this is what the governor said, talking about months. And this is not acceptable. We're not going to accept that without remaining in silence. We cannot say that we're not going to have public masses before summer. Because what means months? Well, we're talking about 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. We have no guarantee when this is going to happen. Second, these people, I don't know if they talk with any bishop, if they ask their opinion, but we cannot accept neither to be put as movie theaters, events. We are not a hobby. We are not here to entertain people. We are essential people, even to those people who are governing, who are more essential than themselves, because we take care of people, not only spiritually, and I believe in this situation we need more spiritual life than ever, but also physically and psychologically. Because even if you don't know, even if people they don't know what a sacrament is, they may understand. Then when you go and talk to a priest about your situation, a priest can help you, even psychologically speaking. Even if I just take one example of one sacrament, the sacrament of penance, for instance, I am a sinner. When I go and talk to a priest about my sins and confess my sins, I acknowledge myself as a weak person relying upon God. In the meantime, I ask the advice of a priest who can help me to feel better, to direct my life in a better way. And that has psychological consequences. What we have seen now in this entire world with this pandemic is politicians are not taking their responsibility. They are not doing their jobs. Their jobs is to take decisions. They are not taking decisions. And I said many times, it's like we are living in a medical dictatorship. And it is not acceptable. None of us elected a physician. None of us elected a science expert whatsoever. We elected politicians, meaning that these people are able to take decisions based on advice they receive. But there is a risk part here. And as we go further in that pandemic, who is decreasing right now, we can hear from all over the world that it is decreasing, then it is time for them to take good decisions and take decisions instead of relying on people who may not know it's possible, it is not possible. That is the main difference in between an expert, an advisor, and a politician. Politicians are surrounded by advisors. And based on that, they take a decision for the common good. And the common good is asking them to reopen churches because it is an essential for people, for the well-being of people, spiritually and physically and psychologically again. It is very important that we go further and ask to all of the politicians to in the county, on the state level, to open the church, because it is essential for the well-being of people, again, your people, the people you're supposed to take care of. And this is very important because we cannot accept this situation. It is very disrespectful to classify us as an entertainment business. We are not. We're not. And most of them are even baptized. And here in California, I think the governor was born and raised Catholic. So I think he may have an understanding of what is and how serious is the church. And we want to work. And as we did, we are not looking at a political side here. We are looking just how can we reopen life, basically. And so this is very important for us to understand that. The church is not a gym. The church is not an in-person service. I don't know if they talk to the bishops, because the church knows, of course, how to deal with any situation, because the church is 2,000 years old. So it is not the first time in the history of the church that we faced this reality. And up to now, any state, whatever monarchy, republic, democracy, whatever state, they work with the church in any crisis. And that means it will be the first time in history that the government is not working with the church. We have solutions. We know how to deal with things. We have propositions to how to open the church. In the beginning of this pandemic, they did it in Poland, multiplying masses, reducing the attendance by respecting social distance and sanitizing everything after. We can do such a thing. It is possible to take measures to respect social distancing. We can do so much more, and ask if, and I suggest this to the bishops, that they need to talk to the government. They need to beg them, to ask them to do what we are doing. We are not, once again, like a hair salon. We are not like a museum. This is not the same thing, and it is not understandable for us that you have grocery stores open with many people inside who are at risk and not opening the church. It is even unbelievable, as I took the example of a car dealership being open and not a church. So this is not acceptable. We will not accept that for us. So we don't need to dramatize the situation. We need to pray first, and we need to make our voices heard by these people government. We need to write letters, ask them to reconsider the classification of the church. We understand that they are in a very difficult moment. They have to take decisions, but decisions have been made with the right people, not behind a desk in an office with people who do not know who we are. This is very important for us. This is very important for everybody. Let's pray all together. Let's be united all together to go through that situation, that we can be all together as soon as possible. Thank you very much.